Um, yeah, it's kind of weird, but I kind of want to talk about music. And this video, I want to talk about 7 albums that I like that I found in 2024. Kind of lame. Um, but the first two I do want to talk about um, are albums I actually discovered in, or not discovered, but they were actually created in 2024. One that everyone probably knows, Brat by in Charlie XCX. Um, it's probably like the album of the year for a lot of people. Um, and I can see why. And for me, I keep hearing about Charlie XCX every time she releases an album. Ever since the COVID era, honestly. I still have yet to get into it, but um, I've ironically listened to other hyperpop artists. Think of Sophie, Black Dresses, 100 Gex, probably some other stuff I can't um, list, but Charlie XCX has always been in the wait list, and ever since Brat came out, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. That album isn't necessarily a hyper pop album, but I do like, I do like a lot of, I will say it's like very, I do like some deep moments there. I do like, the more upbeat, clubbier moments. It's definitely club music for sure. Um, and yeah, it's pretty dope. My go-to really out of like all the versions of Brad has to be the deluxe album because I do like the song Guess. So um, 365 is a classic. Of course, you got 360. But Guess is my number one, and Everything is Romantic, number two. But everything in that album is pretty good. So Brad is my first album I want to talk about. Number two, yeah, it is an album called Diamond Jubilee by Cindy Lee, and what I like about Diamond Jubilee is it's really weird. Um, I personally like a lot of this list is like based on my personal taste, and just based of everything um, before Diamond Jubilee. I liked a lot of psychedelic stuff. I like rock music. I like lo-fi stuff. I like Velvet Underground, and a lot of that seems to be. I can find a lot of stuff of that in Diamond Jubilee, and I think it's pretty cool. Um, I can't really describe and do it justice, but I like this list of um, a few songs. But before I do, that album is 2 hours long. 2 hours long. Um, it's not. Ironically, it's not my first album that I've taken this, a 2 hour, take. Just like I'll listen to an album that lasts for 2 hours. One of them was called 69 Love Songs, or I think it's by Magnetic Fields. But it is 2 hours long. But what got me into this record is listening to a few singles. So probably the most popular one has to be Kingdom Come. But I started listening to. Well, I gave the thing an entire listen because if I like Kingdom Come, if I like the sound I already like that look out for from Kingdom Come, and actually I've dug into the discography of the artist's other project, which is Woman. After hearing that, I started listening to Diamond Jubilee more. Anyways, that project is called Woman. If you want to listen to it, pretty cool. But back to Diamond Jubilee. Um, I started listening to the entire album, and I found more singles that I liked. Wild Ones was one of them, and it became Stone Faces, Dracula. Um, was it Government Check? Chic, the Government Chic, and this is other song is like Don't Tell Me I'm Wrong or whatever, but um, a lot of those they do feature either they do feature vocals, but like the instrumentals, I like them. Um, and I've heard that like you don't necessarily need to go into this in one go. You just listen to an album as though you want to like take your time. Like you don't necessarily have to watch it as though it's like a movie where you need to do it under one go and you need to put as much attention to it. You can do something else. And uh, what's pretty cool is like even though I'm doing something else, I still go back to the album and I've appreciated the things that I've repeatedly go back into it. So Diamond Jubilee is definitely my album of the year, and definitely like in this list for the albums I discovered in 2024. Anyways, um, as I go on into this list, you'll find a lot of weird picks. It's a lot more abrasive. I've already listed other stuff I liked. But yeah, let's just get into it. I can't decide between two of these albums, but they're both albums by Big Blacks, and I'll group them all at once. So one of them is called Atomizer, and the other is his songs about fucking, and they're all under Big Black. And um, the lead vocalist is Steve Albini. So um, definitely the song to get yourself into this band is called Kerosene, and that song is amazing. It's so good. I listen to it when I want to like I want to actively like appreciate and like analyze this album, but I also if I like go to do a workout or like run, I listen to that song, and it's so fucking good, and it got me into other stuff from Big Black, and it's not just that song, but I will say, a lot of their lyrics are a bit questionable, so if you don't want to go through that, don't listen to them, but they're fucking amazing. Steve Albini, Big Black is so good. Oh my god. So, yeah. Um, that is my third song. Well, like, if it's not Kerosene, you can listen to Bad Penny, El Dopa, Colombian Night. Fucking I like him. Musica Joe. I cannot remember every single song, but it's so good. So good. Um, so number four, I'll just do seven because you get five that's like outside of 2024 and two that I've mentioned earlier that were from 2024. Number two, it has to be Bloom by Beach House. That's the name. That is the name. Bloom by Beach House. It is so ethereal. um, I think the Beach House Pipeline. You start listening to Space Song, and you're like, oh, this is kind of what I'm looking for. I like this like ethereal sound. I like dream pop, and like you start getting to other stuff. You start hearing about like, oh, this one album called Bloom, probably their best album ever, and I agree. I would say the last song is probably my least listened to because dude, that song fucks with me every time I go out to listen to it. I hear nothing for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, time for me to move on to another album. But it's literally 5 minutes of nothing. It's like as though like like there's like a John Cage, fucking cover where it's just nothing but silence. It's just like stupid. Um, but yeah, I started listening to Bloom. Myth is incredible. I think it is such a good opener, and there's like this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, the the three song opener. What is like the best like I think consecutive songs out of like each album? Um, you could list out like stuff from Steely Dan or like I'd say what else? Can't really think of one, but the one that comes in mind for me has to be Myth. Um, dang, I forgot. Myth, whatever the second song is, in Lazuli, and yeah, they're really good. Like it, it makes you feel as though like spirit is lifted off the body. It gives me that sort of feeling. And Troublemaker, other people, years is that that album is amazing. It never not a lot of albums have brought me to that state ever since like I've listened to what freaking I don't I don't know what you call it. It's like I know it's Macintosh Plus, but it's that genre Macintosh Plus Death something, but yeah Bloom, give it a listen, please. It's so good. Um, so what was it? Number five. Number five has to go to Mark Garson's Plantasia. I think that's what it's called. Let me give me a moment. It might be called Plantasia. Yeah, so it's called Mother Earth Plantasia. I heard like some stories about the album. I like the album cover. I'm like, I'll give it a try. And funny like I think the album made me appreciate like appreciate plants a lot more. I like a lot more earthier stuff because of that album. And um, I think this album, people say it has inspired a lot of other like video game soundtracks as well. If you guys are familiar with Mother, um, maybe it has from. I like to think that has influenced whoever created the soundtrack for the Mother series. So yeah, I mean it's pretty good. I'm not as excited as the last two albums, but like um, I just like the sound. I like the things that like it brought me new things to enjoy. Um, I do need to go back and listen to it. Maybe not today, but I definitely do like certain angles in there. Of course, you got the opener, which is Pantasia. I do like I like swing damn. What do you call it? Um, this one will be my last point, but it's called Swinging Spathy Films, and I also like O2 An African Violet, and like I also started looking up other like plants that were listed in that album, from spider plants to synthephones to like African violet. I do like African violets a lot. And I wish I could show a tattoo. I'm wearing a sweater right now, but as a cat with a flower in it, and yeah, it just made me appreciate that stuff a lot more. So yeah, that is my number five. Number six, it has to be. Number six has to be. It's a 12 Rods album. It's called Split Personalities. Um, so how I found this album was through this Korean shoegaze artist called what do you call it? His name is Paranol. So I followed him on Instagram, and he put it out there like this 12 Rods songs, and it sounded great. It sounded great. It's it's one of these things I actively looking for as well, like abrasive sounds, and there's like cool like stories that come up from 12 Rods. So apparently, like their EP was the first, number 10 rated by Pitchfork. That's kind of cool, but I disagree. Um, I I like to think that like criticism isn't as developed as it is now. But 12 Rods, I like the sound. I like the fact that it was from the 1990s with that sound, even though like um, people made more abrasive, more technical sounds before, going back to Big Black. But what I do also like about that album is like I don't think there's a lot of it, but it's like it has an LGBT theme in it. It had more progressive love themes in that song, and it's kind of lame, but like it's something to appreciate. It's These are thoughts that I've had myself. Um, but yeah, like it's it's a great album. Um, I think it's very, how do you call it? It gives you a certain feeling, and these feelings I don't feel as much anymore. But yeah, so as a single side, um, recommend Girl Sun. Um, and going back to my point on LGBT themes, there's a song called "I Wish You Were a Girl," where um, I think how it goes is like there's like Sky, and like essentially like yeah, I wish you like I like to assume that like he has like this guy that he's talking about in the song, you know, has everything he's looking for, but he's not a woman, and um, he might be questioning whether he's gay himself or not. So yeah, um, cool song. Split personalities. I am faster than you. I think the one I was listening to earlier today. Was I Am Faster Than You. I like a lot of these songs. And these songs are pretty goofy too. The Stupidest Boy, Love Ways, and pretty much like a good chunk, like 2 to 3 songs are like kind of goofy, and I do like that. So um, that is yeah. I like the album a lot. It's called I don't think I've it's called Personalities by 12 Rods. Um, just and also like it's also interesting the fact that like um I've listened to other like similar bands. Let's say like I think that's like kind of the pipeline as well. Like these sort of like emo-ish bands or like this like abrasive indie rock where you listen to Weezer and you listen to freaking what's his face American football, and you start getting into like Midwest emo, and like you start looking for this type of music, and like um, man, I was thinking about the other like Midwest album that I really liked, but the song and this I mean this 12 Rods, this album is it seems like it's that hidden gem, like no one talks about it, but it's there. It's it's there. It's great. It's good. Let's move on. And now talking about one final album. Is there anything else that I've listened to? Is there anything else? I feel like that's probably it. Oh my god! I listened to like Animal Collective, but that's all last year, too. But I will list the honorable mention. It will go to Six Inch Nails. It's no Nine Inch Nails. Um, what is the album called? Freaking Downward Spiral. Oh my god, so corny. It's called Downward Spiral, and I keep hearing about it. I thought it was like a whole nothing burger, but like listen to like um the really it's listen to Closer. um I had to remember what the song was. It's so lame of me, but like listening to that song of like surely there's like something I can get from Nine Inch Nails, and so I'll listen to them more, and I definitely do gotten a lot from it. It's very nihilistic, very depressing, very rough, very a lot of like edginess. Not edginess, but it's a nihilistic album for sure. A lot of electronic sounds, a lot of rock. It's pretty cool. Um, it's not. It is distinctive enough for me, especially being like the hallmark of like music as a whole, for me to like mention it as an honorable mention. Even though I'm not excited about it now, I'll probably go back to listen to it because like I want to actively look for something so like abrasive. Because I got that abrasiveness from like Big Black. And ironically, I go to rate your music. I look up like, was it industrial music, and I see see that album listed. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll entertain it. And it's not what I was looking for, um, but in the end, I ended up enjoying that album. So, yeah, um, I forgot that. What? It's an honorable mention. It's an honorable mention for a reason. I forgot what was the album name, but my last this is kind of lame. It is kind of lame, but it is a Lamp album, and it is called "For Lovers" by Lamp. And so I started listening to a lot more Japanese music as of last year. I got into Fishbins. Um, what's her face? Freaking Tricot is a cool like um, math rock band. I haven't listened to that in ages. Um, there's Sheena Ringo. I do like listening to Sheena Ringo a lot. And yeah, just like Fishmans. I really like Fishmans. I like Japanese music. I've listened to like Korean shoegaze already. You got Paranol. Just like I like the indie music scene in in their respective countries, like Paranol, Midair Thief. I started discovering that um, last year, and into this year. Gone to I've gone out of my way to listen to For Lovers by Lamp, and I like how soft it is. It's a soft rock album. Growing up, I listened to like Eagles, America, John Ford Coley, Carpenters, freaking Holland Oates, like yeah, and me being Filipino, me just going back to the Philippines last month, I've heard a lot of like soft rock. Well, like I like to think Filipinos are corny. Um, when it comes to like love, and so and um, that album happens to take a lot of like soft rock influences and added to the songs. But I do like there's like some bossa nova stuff as well. You'll see in like as you listen through the album. But yeah, like for lovers, the opener. um, I will say that album and the few albums that I've listed here, it have list it had brought out feelings that is so corny and cheesy. Um, and so yeah, and this album brought those feelings out too. It's so fucking lame, but it made me pick up a guitar too. It learned me how to finger a guitar. I still have yet to learn the guitar, so if that just anything. I just borrowed a friend's guitar and try to learn for lovers. Um, but yeah, it's, enticed a certain feeling from me. But other than like that, like it's a good like Shibuya album. um, definitely like Tapestry. It's definitely like melancholic, kind of sad. Um, it's probably my one of my top five on my Spotify list. But like everything else is like so like nice and peppy and sad and nice and so smooth. I don't know, like I'm not. I don't talk about like I'm not as passionate as with Big Black or like Beach House, but like this album I've gone back to so many times. Like why not listen to it? And like I think I really liked um Hirogaru Namida, even though try to go on my way to not listen to it anymore because it has that soft rock feel. Um, but yeah, Rainy Tapestry really carried like my appreciation for that album. Even though I do like the album, I just go back to listen to Rainy Tapestry, and I listen to everything. And the fact that I live in Japan, I I listened to this like album in the train. Like, how can you not listen to this album in the train when one of like their songs is called "Last Train at 25 o'clock"? Like, it is it's a train album. So it's such a weird approach to listen to music. But yeah, like I just wanted to talk about like stuff I listen to. I wanted to share that like um there are more stuff to listen to out there. 'Cause like I like to think people have like kind of like kind of lame taste in music. It could be like you don't have to listen to just like I like Tyler the Creator as much as like the Nice Guy or like Kendrick Lamar, but it can't be just them. And like it doesn't mean side note, it doesn't mean that like they haven't made one of the greatest pieces in music in general. Thinking about Kendrick Lamar right now, but yeah, just like um, there's a lot of stuff to listen to. Yeah, I just wanted to be pretentious for like 30 minutes. 30 freaking minutes. That's stupid. Yeah, it's like a podcast, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about music, and yeah, I'm kind of thirsty now because I've been talking for like 30 straight minutes. But look at this nice, nice bottle. I'm about to go drink some water. You know, some fucking water. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here.